Hi guys. A couple of weeks ago I did an account, or should I say story, of a place that I'm visiting in Cornwall called Port Eliot. I think one of the most haunted stately homes in the whole of Cornwall, there's no doubt about it. It stands on the site of a Augustinian priory that goes back to the 12th century. Still preserved underneath the house are the tunnels and part of the original monastery, even down to some of the cobbled streets that are still there. It's extremely haunted, and its main ghost, for want of a better word, is an Augustinian monk called Dando, who in those days, in the days of, I suppose you could say, sex and drugs and rock and roll, the church, they brewed their own beer, they drank, they had a very good time, to say the least. And Dando was no exception to this. He loved drinking and he loved hunting. He had his own pack of hounds. This is a monk. Catholic priest. And he loved hunting, and he went out on a Sunday with the hunt with his hounds on the Sabbath. And when he got near to the river, he was confronted by a figure on a horse who offered him alcohol. He took the drink, downed it in one, taking alcohol on the Sabbath. The figure just happened to be the devil, who led him and his hounds to the river and plunged them and drowned them in the river. And to this day, Dando and his hellhounds, or wish hounds, still haunt the moors around Port Eliot, searching for the souls of the damned. Dando is the resident ghost at Port Eliot and is seen frequently in the remains of the Augustinian priory underneath Port Eliot. Not only that, but the pub, the Eliot Arms, which I shall be doing a dining with the dead on the 22nd and 23rd of November, is reputedly haunted. The other day I got a phone call from an ex-landlord, John, giving me some of the accounts that happened while he was there with his wife and little boy. He said that the ghost didn't like his wife, and on one occasion she'd got up in the middle of the night, couldn't sleep, and went to sleep on the sofa. She heard footsteps coming along the bar, heavy footsteps. She was all snuggled up in the dark, and this figure stopped by the sofa, and she could hear it breathing. She says, I should have turned, I should have done something, but I froze, and I waited until the footsteps started to walk away, and that's when I fled back to her bedroom. Their little boy of 4.5 saw 2 Cromwellian soldiers in complete uniform in his bedroom, and kept being pulled out of bed by a poltergeist, by a ghost. It got so serious that in the end, one night, and he was sleeping below mum and dad, in a room below. They were upstairs, he was farther down. It was a 3-story building. And they heard this thud yet again as the little boy was pulled out of bed. His wife said, we can't stand this anymore, John, we must do. And he rushed upstairs and stood in the room and shouted at the top of his voice, swore at the ghost using the B word and the F word, and screamed at it, you're dead, go, F off from this building. And John said it never happened again. I don't know. Anyway, not only that, but he also saw a figure in the bar more than one occasion. And the first time he saw it, he said, I did a double take, turned away, looked back, it was still there. He described it to one of the regulars, who said, yeah, I know exactly who that is. That's an ex-landlord that took his own life in the garage. And John said, we saw him on frequent occasions. He's never moved on. I am doing a dining with the dead on the 22nd and the 23rd of November. And we're also doing on both those nights a haunted tunnel tour of Port Eliot. So if you're around in Cornwall on the 22nd or 23rd of November, all you need to do is book on Port Eliot House and Gardens. Come and see me, guys. Looking forward to it. See you soon. Cheers.